All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Give me touching on the top prop bets today that we have, mostly in the MLB and WNBA, but we do have a lot of promotions that we're getting on PrizePicks and still on Underdog, so we'll be getting into that to start the video. But first, before we get into that, just a quick recap from yesterday. So yesterday's Flex Friday did go pretty much as expected. You know, I talked about on the video a decent amount, like a decent board, but not a board that we would typically do a 5-slip bet on or a 6-slip bet on had it not been Flex Friday. It was just kind of a limited board. That is going to be what we're going to expect, I think, during the summer. I've echoed this a bunch. Okay, but that is also why we are getting all these promotions from Sleeper, from Underdog, from PrizePicks, you know, even Pick 6 as well. That is why we are getting all these promotions, these discounts, these free squares, because, well, they know that's kind of, it's not the off season. I don't want to say that by any means, but it's not the NFL or NBA. And so, you know, 3 for 5, I'll take that. You know, 60%. I don't think anyone's complaining about bets going 60%, a little bit lower than the bet hit rate thus far this season in 2024. But again, 60%, no one's complaining about that. Did kind of go as expected. A little bit tilting. Brian Reynolds had a late home run that didn't really matter in the game. That was pretty tilting, but all in all, we'll take that. You know, not terrible. And then just talking about kind of the Flex Friday stuff, that was limited to $5. That's why I mentioned that I only want to do like a 5 or 6 slip bet to, you know, basically make it worthwhile. And so you guys will see today that you probably have an esports protected play. I mean, you should. And so mine is limited to $5. I gave out a bet on Tuesday, I think is when the other esports protected play came out. That one ended up going, it was a 5-slip bet. That one ended up going 3 for 4 with a tie. And here's the slip. So maybe that's why it's being limited to $5. There's been a few protected plays esports wise that we've been able to take advantage of slightly, nothing huge. So kind of strange that's being limited to $5, but kind of okay with that. Again, we are just being tossed out a lot of free money. Then we do have another promotion that I'll get into in just a second, but let's go ahead and try to find an esports promotion bet that we can make. And what's nice about today is that we are getting some COD bets that we can use. Now, the issue with PrizePicks esports betting is that you can only choose one player from each team. At least Underdog, you can kind of use all these together and kind of hope that's right. But still, you know, we have 3 prop bets we can use from here, which I'm going to be happy to do. You know, at least we have those discrepancies that we can use, which, you know, I'm not complaining about it. I'm pretty happy about that. So I will say that I will be running out the opposite of this on Underdog, a little bit of a hedge, but again, they're kind of just giving us free money on PrizePicks, so you don't have to do that. I am just kind of trying to increase my likelihood to have a profitable day by doing that. Again, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I'm also going to be running out a slip where I do all 5 of them on Underdog. So, you know, enough talking about it. I'll just show you guys what I mean. So this will be the bet that I run out on PrizePicks for that discount that we are getting for that free square that we're getting. Then I'm going to be doing the exact opposite on Underdog because, again, that's kind of my way of hedging, trying to somewhat have a profitable day by doing that. It's not like it's a lock and load by any means, but I think that's a decent strategy. And then I'll also show you another bet that you could then run out on Underdog as well. And so again, just running out the opposite of that on Underdog and then just using all 5 of them. Again, some of these players are teammates. You can't do that on PrizePicks, which is a little bit unfortunate. We never like to do a 3-slip bet on PrizePicks because the payout's not as good, but kind of, oh well, when you're getting free money tossed at you. Okay, so that kind of does it with the esports props. So let's go ahead and jump on into the other promotion that we are getting today. And so I'm a little bit annoyed by this promotion just because PrizePicks had put out a tweet showing a hot dog prior to this. And if you guys have played PrizePicks in years past, they had these things called discount dogs, which they basically just use for MLB days, where they discount a pitcher pretty much. And I was thinking we were going to get that today, so I was kind of excited. And then they came out with this, and so it's just kind of bad optics in a sense that, like, oh, like, this is dumb. But they're going to give us a free lineups. I only got one, just as an FYI. If you have more than that, great, take advantage of that. But they're trying to give us free money again, not going to complain about that. And so there's no real strategy to this. I mean, if you have multiple lineups, great. I would say then maybe you can do a slight strategy to it where maybe you're betting everyone over, then everyone under, and you're kind of just rolling with it that way. Or if you have like 3 free lineups, you do more, less, more. I don't think you're going to get more than 4, so you'd be really unlucky to not hit at least one of those 3. But that's kind of my strategy there. I mean, nothing really too much to that. So that does it with the free squares. We also are still getting these free squares here for Underdog. I still don't think we're getting great prop bets to use those. Again, when I want to use a free square, I really want to try to be locking in. Again, I don't like to use the word lock, but I really want to be targeting a really strong prop bet. I still don't know if we have that today first day. We have a good stacking opportunity though for MLB, and let's start with that. So I did add in this underdog cheat sheet beta to the 9to5sports.com website, which is going to be available for 9to5 members here as well. So this is going to go along with the normal PrizePicks and Underdog cheat sheet. I just think I kind of like it a little bit better, how it looks a little bit better. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys in this video. What you'll see is we are getting a decent amount of good prop bets today on Underdog. But once we go into the MLB tab, you're going to see that we are getting a decent amount of stacking opportunities today on Underdog, which is something that I prefer to do if possible. So let's start with one prop bet that we're getting. Charlie Morton, though, for pitching fantasy score. This is one of the better prop bets that we are getting. Kind of a middle tier type of game in terms of run total, 8.8. Not exactly great. Not projected to get a win either. That's a little bit of a worry. We go down to his innings. Not going to get a quality start either. So like that's not all great. But if you look at the average sportsbook line, they would still be favoring the over pretty heavily at 29.5. Again, that could be the difference between a strikeout or not, or maybe another out or not. I mean, that's the difference here between any other fantasy score prop bet, is that can significantly change the outcome of a pitching fantasy score prop bet, is how the average sportsbooks are valuing outs and strikeouts. I'm going to keep reiterating that so no one's like shocked. But this is a good bet on paper. We can see PrizePicks would be giving it a line at 28.5. The projection data has it about 28.5. And then also the average sportsbook line, 29.5. So this is a pretty solid bet that we are getting today. I am happy to use that one. And then after that, we're going to see 1 and 2 prop bets for Colorado, where we are seeing that the data is telling us to bet the under. The thing that we're also going to see is if we hit this, does the data correlate, that we are also getting 2 Minnesota prop bets. And even though the likelihood of these hitting are a little bit lower, I'm kind of happy to use those 2, just given the fact that we can stack those 2 together. And so that is something that I'm kind of excited to do. And so right off the bat, we have like 5 good prop bets that we can go ahead and use. We also do have Logan Gilbert for under his pitching fantasy score. This is going to be slightly better on PrizePicks, but still not bad. It's still one we're going to use on Underdog as well. And then let's jump into PrizePicks, and I'll give you guys kind of a, well, I'll save the bet of the day for the end. So we're jumping into PrizePicks now, and we're going to see it's a little bit tighter of a board. Again, on PrizePicks, that's just kind of been the case, but still decent ones. We have Arias for over his hitting fantasy score again. He seems to be popping up every single slate, whether it's over fantasy score or under fantasy score. Kind of weird that keeps happening, but a decent bet there. Tyler Glass now for over his pitching fantasy score. Don't exactly love the projection data being at 40.5, but again, that's a pretty strong bet that we are getting. The only issue that I have with him is that, only 5.6 projected innings. Do need him to get a quality start and probably a win. He is projected to get the win pretty decently, and it's not the highest scoring game, so should be able to get a quality start, should be able to get a win, but we kind of need that there from him. Another good pitching fantasy score bet that we have is going to be Marcus Stroman for over his pitching fantasy score. He did let us down, I believe, last game, which was a little bit annoying. The line, average sportsbook-wise, should be set at 27.5, so a decent edge there. We're going to be using Logan Gilbert on both sides. Happy to do that. Zach Wheeler's another one where it's good enough. Again, the projection data does not like the over. All right, so jumping into the PrizePicks bet of the day today. Again, I just want to reiterate this. I've said this a decent amount of times. Right now, during the summer, I'm basically trying to do more 5 and 6 slip bets. And that's going to be up for you guys to decide if that's going to be for you. I'll show you guys the math behind it as well. Like, we know that this is kind of the profitable approach because that's where we're going to get the biggest long-term edge on PrizePicks and Underdog. And right now, during the summer, I'm kind of okay with, maybe not hitting as many bets on the bet of the day, just knowing that it's going to be a more long-term profitable approach. And now that's not going to be for everyone, and that's why I like to say that during these videos, okay? If you guys are only doing a 2 or 3 slip bet, well, don't do a 3 slip bet on PrizePicks, but you guys get the point. Like, you decide what's best for you. I am going to do this, though, for tracking purposes with the bet of the day, still doing these 5 and 6 slip bets. And so the PrizePicks bet of the day is okay. I actually really like the Underdog bet of the day a little bit better because we have that correlation. And so the nice part about Underdog right now is that we are getting that kind of increased payout for flex bets when it's greater than or equal to 5 bets. And so I do kind of want to just plug the Underdog, or it's a good time to sign up. Honestly, if you guys have never signed up, it is a good time to sign up because of kind of that deal that they have going on. There is the Angel Reese, Clayton Clark free square that they have available as well. So if you guys want to, use the promo code 9to5. If not, that's fine. But looking at it right now, I do like the opportunity that we have for stacking. So we got these 2 for under their fantasy score. That correlates pretty well. I like that we have that. And we have 2 Minnesota players where this correlates pretty well as well for them to get over their fantasy score. I do wish we could attach the pitchers that would correlate with that fantasy score wise. Those prop bets are not good right now, which is kind of strange, right? But maybe that pops up throughout the day. If that does, we're warned to use those there. Now, it will decrease the payout a little bit because that correlates pretty heavily, but oh well. And then we're going with the 3 other good pitching fantasy score prop bets that we have. Again, Charlie Morton over fantasy score is slightly better on PrizePicks or on Underdog than it is on PrizePicks. Same thing with Logan Gilbert, and then Corbin Burns, a decent prop bet on both sites there. Feel pretty good about the correlation here. Again, 7 slip bet, that's decent. If you guys want access to the tools that you saw in this video, head on over to 9to5sports.com. They're going to be available for you guys for just $10 a month. Kind of just scrolling through it right now for you guys. Head on over to the pricing and plans tab. It's going to be available for just $10 a month. That is going to be all for today's video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe on your way out. Good luck today, guys. A lot of slips for you guys today. Honestly, probably too much. Lots to get into too. Maybe should have done a live stream with this, but that's all. Thanks for watching. Good luck, and as always, let's keep cashing.